If you look into the heart of Americana, you're going to find community. A collective of people who have come together to make life easier and better. It's usually a lot of fun to travel and see new things. You never know what you'll find if you look for interesting things along the way. Just a trip to the next town up the road or the next neighborhood down the street. That might be all it takes to see different things, or at least to see things you've seen before in a different way. I'm Bill Snodgrass. Join me as I explore what catches my eye along the way. So I have pulled off along the way to this little church parking lot where I wanted to talk about community. The whole Americana structure that grew out of communities like this little community I passed through and pulled over here to talk. As you saw, there's just a couple of houses left and some farming infrastructure pieces, and then there's this church here, and but this is the footprint of a historical community. I don't know when this community was first founded, but it persists on now as a reminder of how these little parts of America sprang up, and the people came together in order to improve their lives. I taught a college seminar class on American history one time, and the founding fathers, the authors of one of the books that we use, they argued that the founding fathers all embraced some type of spirituality. Not all the same denomination, not all the same necessarily religion, but they all acknowledged the spiritual nature of humanity, and as a result, they could not conceive of a culture that did not include churches and synagogues and things like that. They could not conceive of a society or culture that didn't have a spiritual aspect. And that's evident in all these little communities that you'll find like this. Many times you're going to find central to these little clusters of homes and shops and things, you'll find some churches. And it just goes back to how for so many years and as part of Americana, the spiritual life was an integral part. And we see that, and we're reminded of that by churches like this when we drive by and we see them. Another aspect of these communities that was integral to the success of this country and the success of this nation which is the same thing, one of those things was education. That education was an integral part of life. It kind of went without saying. People just knew that in order to improve the country, in order to improve people individually, in order to improve life as a rule, education was a key. And I don't know, there was bound to have been around here somewhere one of the little one-room schoolhouses. I know there's one back at Buckley Homestead back in Lowell. I grabbed some B-roll of that before I left. So there you can see this one-room schoolhouse where the people of the community, education was so important that they would send the kids in and have them learn to read and write, doing arithmetic and all those things. My mom went to a one-room schoolhouse for a little while, and then she went on to the bigger school where they had the grades and the classes. And those one-room schoolhouses served as the catapult to learning. So I just wanted to stop here because the little church and the little houses surrounding it and the graveyard, this is all the footprint of those little communities that all came together and they all did their thing, and that's what built this country. That's what built the United States. So it's nice to stop as I drove by. It's nice to stop and just reflect on that. That the community is the heart of the country, and it is from little communities. And when little communities grow and they come together, they become bigger communities with little communities within them. So at the very heart, at the very nature of this country, of Americana, is the mentality of community, of people coming together to make life better for everyone involved. So that's it. That's the reason I stopped here. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, please click the like button, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know. If you are old enough to remember some of these things from the past, or if you're young enough to be fascinated by them, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And we will see you in the next episode.